Hey everyone, today I'm going to go through backend stuff, and then later I'll probably also make a video for business programmers. Let me share my screen. And so I personally, to be very transparent, don't have a ton of experience with backend. So if you have a lot more experience and you would like to do it a different way, reach out to me. Or honestly, if you would like to share your knowledge with the other members in our program, that would be very, very helpful. But let's just get started. Let me open up the file I was working on for front end. So what you want to do, I'm not sure if you had watched, since you're backenders, I'm not sure if you have watched the front end video, but basically what you want to do is download the let me see if I can find it again. Download the code base that we're using. And again, the mentor should have sent that. For example, I sent it here to my mentor group. I assume that each one of you has access to Expo Go Snack. This is where our code base, mainly for front end right now, because we don't have back end developed yet. But go ahead, export project. It'll give you a zip file, open the zip file. If you don't have VS Code, download VS Code or any other IDE you'd like to use. I'm just personally using VS Code. You want to open up the Leaf Summer project template. It probably won't say to for you, but the Leaf Summer project template file. And here you can see, oh, quick thing. I had done this in the previous front end video, but if you look here, there's sort of, I'm not sure why when you download it, there's usually what's that called? There is an extra file here. I don't remember what the name was, to be honest, but if you're getting errors saying oh, it can't run, this is more for front end usage, but just delete the file and it solves the issue. But let me know in the general chat if you guys need help with that. I just want to go over setting up the backend for you guys so you can start working. So what we are going to be following actually is, let me pull it up. Your mentors might have sent you this, but if not, we'll be mainly following Expo Go's using Firebase here. It'll go through, but also there are just a couple of things to keep in mind. I would suggest that you read up on all the Firebase stuff, but after you've done that, you should, let me pull it up again. I've lost it. So I'll just give a brief overview of what Firebase looks like and what it is. Firebase basically is a database and also a backend service. And so it really just, you can create a backend without a service. It's just a lot harder. So this makes things way easier, honestly, and it's also free. The other option we had was AWS, which is the service that Amazon uses. And for our purposes, I think Firebase will be enough. Amazon's service is a bit more, I guess, complicated, or also we would need to pay for that. But it's a good thing to learn too. So if you'd like to learn Amazon's structure, we could probably implement that in some way, but I suggest Firebase. Basically, I'm pretty sure I can personally add users to this. And so for the people who are back-enders, if you go in our Discord channel, if you watch this video, maybe this is a good way to see who watches these videos, but I don't like to be that type of person. In the CS program, if you're a backender, please just send me your email. And so I can add you to our project settings and you can have access to this project overview. But even if you are not, if you don't want to do that, or if you're waiting for me to add you, which I'll hopefully add everyone by the end of today, but you can just pause this video right here and type this all by hand. It's a lot easier to just do copy and paste. Maybe I can also send it within the chat too, but it's just easier if you send me your email and you have access to all of this. But what you want to do is hopefully you have npm installed. If you don't, either go through the process of installing it or reach out to me and I'll help with that, or reach out to your mentors. But so we have the VS Code here. We want to do npm install Firebase. I might already have it installed, but I'll just go through it. So it's installing. And then what you want to do, I'm using a combination of this document and following the steps through the Expo Go Firebase. So they have the same thing. They instead have npx expo install Firebase. I think it's the same thing, to be completely honest, but maybe I'll do both just in case. And then I'm creating a Firebase config JavaScript file. Firebase config.javascript. And it has code for you to copy here, but I suggest that you copy this instead. You could type this all out, I'll probably put it in the chat right now so I don't forget. And then the CS people here are going to be a little bit confused. For backenders, video being uploaded soon. Here is the Firebase config.javascript code copy. So you have that, and that's really the main thing. Firebase asks you to do an extra step, which is config the metro. I would suggest you do it. It isn't a step in the Firebase sort of document, but again, remember, I don't have as much experience with backend, and so I'm also sort of figuring it out with you guys, following these documents. This is the purpose of the program, to learn together. If you have more experience, help out the people with less experience. If you have less experience, read up a lot on documentation, which is what I'm doing as well. And so I just updated Metro config, I think just because Expo Go uses that for something. And then it has next steps, this now depends on, so basically that was the setup. It, again, like I said, super easy. Firebase, the reason why I chose it is because it's very user friendly. It's a great, for starting apps, it's really, really easy to use and straightforward, and the UI is quite nice, and they have a bunch of documentation too. And so I have a bit more experience with AWS backend service, so this is a new service for me, but I think I'm getting the hang of it pretty fast too. So now it's technically connected to this project because, the project IDs, the buckets. An important thing to know now, everything's set up technically. Now, once you send the email, again, send your email in just like this chat area, and I will add you to the project. I'll add you as like a user. And so then you can have access to this. But basically the next steps are really just figuring out, hopefully your mentor walked you through this as well, but you should be figuring out what APIs you need, and how to build those APIs. And once you have that, the next steps are to sort of follow the documentation for building those APIs here. For example, if you go under build, there's a bunch of things. And also there's a bunch of, where did it go? Where did my expo go? Oh. If you go here, it'll take you to get auth. And it'll sort of walk you through the web modular API. It'll basically sort of walk you through how to create these APIs. Of course, there will probably, you see here, there will probably be more that you will need to add, but that's sort of up to you to figure out, as your project. But there are a bunch of I would suggest using web, because for iOS we would be using Swift, and not everyone has a MacBook or anything like that. But figure out what API you need to do for your project or for your page, or what your mentor sort of guided you on. And then once you have followed the steps in this video, I would suggest going through the documentation on what API you want to build, and sort of just debugging, working through it. We'll get this through together. I know specifically for backend, it's a bit less straightforward and a bit harder to see sort of progress. With front end, you can sort of see exactly what you modify and have it show on the app. Backend testing is a little bit different. And so please don't feel, anxious, don't feel stressed out about this. We'll get through it together. I'll host some more videos, ask your mentor, reach out to people, reach out to other students. So yeah, let me know if there are any other questions. Maybe I'll create another video about Firebase testing, but this is a good starting point. Do this and you should be pretty good. All right. Thanks, guys. Hopefully this video will get to you guys soon. Bye.